Today, I want to create a new section on this channel. I will name it Not Everything is About Money. In this section, I will present to you several cases of people who became rich, committing fraud, thieves, and scam. Because they were not discovered immediately, they were enriched illegally and, in some cases, even went so far as to have financially ruined many people and their families as a result of trusting in them. August 2012. The US Anti-Doping Agency publishes more than 1,000 pages of evidence that incriminates the cycling legend Lance Armstrong as the intellectual author of a gigantic doping scandal dating back to 1998. But after more than a decade peddling with spirit tricks, Lance refuses to open and publish a challenging video on Twitter. Lying on his sofa, says, "The end justifies the means. I am a hero. Look at all my prizes." It is 1996, when the career of this brilliant star of only 25 years old met a significant obstacle. Doctors discovered that he has testicular cancer in an advanced state, giving him a 40% chance of survival. But the ultra-competitive Armstrong doesn't like to lose. 3 years after, against all odds, it is the center of attention as a cancer survivor who aspires to the impossible, became the winner of the Tour de France. Moreover, Lance changed his image of cancer patient to survival everyone admired. The phenomenon he caused inspired thousands the idea that you can do everything. The Tour de France is the Super Cup of cycling and one of the most demanding tests of all sports. There is 21 stages in more than 23 days and a total of 2.2 thousand miles. After the first stage of the tour, Lance gives positive to the provided substance cortisone, an asteroid that increases lung capacity. It is the usual substance to improve performance, and is also used to treat many diseases. For this reason, the team provided a previous medical report that certifies that the cortisone was an ingredient of a cream for an inflammation. Armstrong receives the go-ahead to continue. During the next stages, he has 3 more positives for the cortisone, but gets rid of it with the same pretext. On July 25, and after dominating the mountain stages, he proclaims champion in Paris and wins the Tour de France with a difference of more than 7 minutes. American hero nobody believed was born. Armstrong turned cycling into a popular sport in the USA. The US postal team won the following 4 Tours de France and become a sport icon of the new millennium. The star is now the face of Nike, and millions of people wear yellow bracelets that promote the NGO cancer fight, Livestrong. The yellow bracelets were everywhere, from ordinary people to famous, but behind the scenes, Lance was planning a sophisticated plot for doping. He was very bright and devised a way to circumvent the system at all levels. To organize affairs of such magnitude, it requires some brilliance. For years, doping has been a plague for cycling. In 1998, a whole team of French cyclists was disqualified from the Tour after it was discovered an entire doping device in the team's vehicle. However, the US postal team elevates the doping to another level. The plan began with the choice of an undetectable substance. They used synthetic erythropoietin, also known as EPO. This substance increases the production of red blood cells. If you increase the amount of red blood cells, you also elevate the amount of oxygen that reaches the muscles. There was no test to detect the EPO to be made with EPO. During the tour, the team created a complicated network of spies who left the substance in the hotels and where they were competing. Armstrong received the EPO from the hands of a self-employed motorcyclist known as Motoman. After the Tour de France, Armstrong was so grateful to Motoman that bought him a Rolex as a sign of thanks. Armstrong is also head of the doping inspectors who take random samples of his blood. During the Tour de France, the team paid people to stay in the hotel lobby in case somebody gets in. Usually, people who registers at a hotel at 7 o'clock in the morning are usually doctors doing the doping test. If the spies saw someone with an aspect official and with a medical bag, they will run to the room and tell everyone to dilute their blood. As the EPO increases the amount of red blood cells, it also creates a clear sign of doping. So they hide the substance consumption by paying doctors to dilute the blood before each medical analysis with saline solution. With this plan executed correctly, Lance wins another Tour de France. This time is the 7th. But the real woe was when his colleagues began to confess the doping case. Finally, in 2012, the Anti-Doping Agency of the United States publishes a meticulous investigation that marks the beginning of the end. From the morning to the night, 8 sponsors put an end to their relationship with Lance Armstrong. The International Cycling Federation calls a press conference where they announced that deprived of his 7 titles of the Tour de France, Lance Armstrong inserts in 2013 and recognizes his doping in a televised interview guaranteed to Oprah Winfrey. But he tells everyone that if he went back to the era in which doping was widespread, he will probably do it again. He didn't care about his victims or his fans. Just he cared about penetrating one of the biggest scams in the history of sport.